Now, here's the weird paradox with all of that, right? I crave structure. I do. I crave structure. My brain loves predictability, but it also resists it, right? The moment I try to lock myself into a routine that feels too rigid or boring, my brain starts yelling, "Nope, not today. I'm good."
Hey there, Vibers. Welcome to the Vibe with Kai podcast, where we keep it real, we keep it relatable, and we keep it a little bit funny as we dive into all things mental health, ADHD, and introversion. My name is Kai. I'm your host, and each week we're going to tackle life struggles with honesty, humor, and a whole lot of heart. So, whether you're here for practical advice or a little validation or just a laugh about what life is like as an adult in today's world, listen, you are in the right place. We are not about toxic positivity here. We are all about being genuine to each other and to ourselves. And we're talking about real things. And we want to encourage each other and remind you that you are not alone. With that said, my friends, sit back, relax, and let's vibe through this together and enjoy today's episode of the Vibe with Kai podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Kai here with another episode of the Vibe with Kai podcast. It's a solo episode today. It's a solo episode today. You don't have a guest. Your guest is me. I'm your guest today. So you're going to have to deal with my annoying voice for the next couple of minutes. Oh, man. Listen, uh, I actually really do enjoy making the solo episodes every now and then because it gives me a chance to just like be me, like I prepare what I'm talking about, but I don't prepare it in a way that I'm making the other, like the guest, look good kind of thing. Like I'm just talking, some of the stuff that is on my mind and things that mean a lot to me. So I think I want to do more solo episodes. Like I think it's May, and I think I've only done like one other solo episode, like maybe one or two other solo episodes this year. So I need to make sure that I sprinkle in a couple solo ones, but you actually just let me know. Let me know like what you like. Do you want me to continue to have guests on? I mean, I'm going to, but like, do you want more solo episodes, or do you want, just all guests? You're like, "Hi, I don't want to hear you speak for 20 minutes. Stop it." um, yeah, no, I get it. If you don't want to hear me speak, if you don't want to hear me sing, I understand. I understand. I understand. And it hurts my feelings, but I understand. Um, I got my fidget spinner. So whenever I have my fidget spinner and a microphone and a camera, you know what that means? That means I'm ready to go, ready to do this, ready to talk about our topic of the day, which is ADHD. Surprise. ADHD and routines. ADHD and routines. That's our topic today. Before I get into the episode, make sure you get your copy of my guidebooks. I have some digital guidebooks that are for sale for you to purchase. And since it's Mental Health Awareness Month, I am giving them away for 75% off. So if you visit my website, thevibewithkai.com, you will get you'll get a link that you can check out all of my digital guidebooks. I have three. One's called Navigating ADHD as an Adult, another one Navigating ADHD as an Introvert, and then the third one is Navigating Finance with ADHD. All three are on sale right now for 75% off for the month of May to celebrate Mental Health Awareness Month. So make sure you get your copy. And I'm excited because there's a big project that I'm working on for everybody, and that is a lot of people have been asking for like what do you call it, like a e-learning course with like videos and audio and stuff like that. So I've been working on that for everybody. So that's going to be coming out later this summer. I'm super excited for everybody to get their hands on that. That one's going to be a lot of fun. But anyway, make sure you get your copy, thevibewithkai.com. Get your copy today before the price goes back to what it was. All right, friends, let's talk about ADHD and routine. Listen, friends, I'm a creature of habit. I am, which is, I mean, it's fairly ironic that I'm a creature of habit because I have ADHD, obviously, and well, routines and ADHD don't always get along, right? But over the years, I've realized something. If I want to function, like a semi-responsible adult, even on the days where I'd rather take a nap under my desk, I need some kind of routine. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people were like, okay, what's the trick? Well, the trick is I've I've had to build routines that work with my ADHD brain, not against it. So, if you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, routines just don't stick, you're not alone. And this podcast episode is for you. It's for you. So listen up, grab that notepad or a glass of wine, either or both, whatever you want. Let's talk about it. Why routines feel impossible when you have ADHD. Let's start with the obvious. Routines can be really, 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 really hard when you have ADHD. And it's not because you're lazy or undisciplined, it's because ADHD messes with how our brains handle structure and time. I was reading up an article on at Psychology Today recently, and it talked about how ADHD affects executive function, which is basically the part of the brain responsible for planning, organizing, following through on stuff. You know, all the things that routines are built on. And then there's time blindness, right? Another study I was reading from UCI Health explains that that time blindness is a real, legitimate ADHD symptom where we struggle to perceive time accurately. It's why we can be quote running late before we've even started the task or started to do whatever it is. It's why when we say, "Oh, I'll do it in 5 minutes," that 5 minutes turns into 2 hours of scrolling on TikTok or Instagram or something like that, right? Now, here's the weird paradox with all of that, right? I crave structure. I do. I crave structure. My brain loves predictability, but it also resists it, right? The moment I try to lock myself into a routine that feels too rigid or boring, my brain starts yelling, "Nope, not today. I'm good." So what helps? What actually helped me build my routines? Well, I'm going to be real. Still figuring that out. Still figuring it out. But I'm going to share with you a couple things that have helped me build and maintain routines that don't make me feel trapped or broken. Number one, I make my routine visible. If I can't see it, I'll probably forget that it exists. you know, I use sticky notes. I use right above my desk. I have a big whiteboard calendar. I have phone reminders. Sometimes I use all three at once, right? Out of sight really truly does mean out of mind when you have an ADHD brain. And my brain needs those visual cues. So that's number one. Number two, I break tasks into tiny steps. If I were to say something like clean the kitchen, that's too vague. Clean the kitchen is too vague. But if I were to say put away dishes, wipe the counter, and take out the trash, that makes it feel a little bit more doable. When you have ADHD, especially if you're an adult with ADHD, you need to understand that every small win counts. And seeing progress keeps me from giving up. Seeing progress will keep you from giving up, hopefully. That's number two. Number three, I stack habits. Have you ever heard of this? Habit stacking? Habit stacking changed the game for me, right? So what it is I pair new tasks with things that I already do. For example, after I brush my teeth, I stretch. After I make my coffee, I take my medicine. I'm not reinventing the wheel here. I'm just adding to it. Number four, I build in flexibility. I give myself some wiggle room. If my morning routine gets thrown off, and it does happen. If my morning routine gets thrown off, I don't toss the whole day away. I try to have a loose plan B or a plan C so that way I'm not derailed by one change. That's number four. Number five, I use tech, right? Technology. I use technology to my advantage. Timers, alarms, to-do apps. They're my external brain in a way, right? I've learned to not rely on memory alone. It's just not a strong suit for me, and that's okay. And I know for a lot of you watching right now, for a lot of you listening, it's you probably feel something very similar, right? Number six, show myself some grace. And you probably have heard me say that number of times on my platform. You got to show yourself some grace. Sometimes my routines fall apart. It happens. I'm human. Sometimes I forget everything I set out to do. And when that happens, I'm learning to forgive myself instead of spiraling. I used to spiral all the time, but I learned to forgive myself instead of spiral. Shame doesn't help. And a lot of us struggle with a thing called ADHD shame. It's a thing. Shame doesn't help. Kindness, kindness to yourself does. Give yourself some grace. So let's review those things, right? What are some things that help me build routines with my ADHD brain? Number one, I make my routine visible. Number two, I break tasks into tiny steps. Number three, I do habit stacking. Number four, I build in flexibility into my day. Number five, I use technology to my advantage. And number six, I show myself some grace. Listen, friends, ADHD adults, listen, you don't have to do things the quote normal way. You don't. The world tells us that routines have to look a certain way. You know, get up at 6 a.m., go for a jog, meditate, eat a healthy breakfast, do 47 productive things by noon. That's cute. It's really cute. But for those of us with ADHD, most of the time, that's not realistic. What works for you might look messy to somebody else. It might change from week to week. But understand this, that doesn't mean that you're failing. It doesn't mean that you're failing. It means that you're adapting. One thing that really helped me was diving deeper into why routines were such a struggle. I actually broke a lot of this down in my guidebook, Navigating Daily Life with ADHD, which is available on my website, thevibewithkai.com. Right. And with this guidebook, it's not, I explained that it's not some perfect formula. It's just a mix of real talk, practical ideas, and things that help me find a little bit more peace and predictability. So if you want to go check that out, 75% off on my website right now. You can grab it right now. Um, I know I'm going to say something, and it's going to sound very cliche. It's going to sound incredibly cliche, but like, I mean every word of it. I mean every second of it. So just bear with me here. You're not alone. I know. That's a cliche thing to say, but I mean it. You're not. You're not alone. Routines sometimes feel impossible, but I promise you, they're not. You're not the only one. Millions, millions of adults with ADHD are trying to figure this out. We're trying to figure it out. Some days we nail it, some days we nap through it, but either way, we keep showing up because we have to. That's what we do. We keep showing up. We keep pushing. Friends, I'm not a mental health professional. I'm just someone living with ADHD who's learned how to work with my brain instead of trying to fight against my brain. You, I'm talking to you right now, the person listening or the person watching, I'm talking to you. You deserve a routine that feels doable, not dreadful. If that sounds like something you want, I hope that this podcast episode points you in the right direction. I hope it helps you take that first step. So let's recap. Let's recap what we talked about in this episode. In this episode, talked about why adults with ADHD struggle with routines and how I'm learning to make them work for me. We talked about how you don't need to follow the world's version of quote perfect routines. You just need something that fits your brain and your life. 5 key takeaways, 5 things I want you to take away from this episode. Number 1, ADHD affects executive function and time perception, which makes routine harder. Number 2, visual reminders and task breakdowns can make routines easier to follow. Number 3, habit stacking helps add new routines to existing ones naturally. Number 4, flexibility and grace are key to bouncing back from routine disruptions. And number 5, you don't need to copy others. Create routines that work for you. Now, on my platform, I get tons and tons of questions about ADHD, and I compiled some of the popular ones that I get about routines. So here are 5 frequently asked questions that I get about ADHD and routines. Question number one, why do adults with ADHD struggle with routines? Well, ADHD affects the brain's ability to plan, the brain's ability to prioritize, and the brain's ability to stick with tasks. It also messes with our time perception, which makes routines harder to follow consistently. Question number two, what helps adults with ADHD stick to routines? Great question. Visual aids, timers, habit stacking, breaking tasks into smaller steps. That's helped me a lot. Flexibility and grace are also very, 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 very important. Number three. I can't count today, friends. Tomorrow, shapes and colors. Number three, how do I stop feeling bad when I can't follow a routine? Great question. Well, first, you need to remind yourself that it's not about laziness. It's not. ADHD brains work differently. I try to treat myself with the same kindness that I would offer a friend. You should do that for yourself as well. And question number four. I know I said there was five. There's actually four. See, this is what happens when my mouth is moving faster than my brain. It's not 5 questions. It's 4 questions. The fourth question: Can ADHD routines look different than neurotypical routines? Absolutely, absolutely. Your routine might not look traditional, and that's okay. The best routine is the one that works for you. It's as easy as that.
And that's a wrap on this week's episode of the Vibe with Kai podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you found a little bit of comfort in today's episode, and I hope that you're walking away with a little bit of encouragement, and I hope that you laughed a little bit along the way. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to like and subscribe and leave a review. Let me know what you thought of the episode. I really want to hear your voice. I want to hear your story. I want to hear all about your journey. Let's keep the conversation going. Make sure you follow me on all of your favorite social media platforms. Follow me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it may be, at The Vibe with Kai for more tips, more laughs, and more real talk. Remember, my friends, you are not alone on this journey. We are in this together. And until next time, stay kind to yourself, embrace the journey, and keep vibing. I'll catch you next time. Much love. Good vibes.